distance in the light, vibration of a thundercloud.
Hello, loved ones. This is Matt Stevens, and this is the My Sober Addiction podcast. And of course, dear loved ones, we are happy, we are healthy, we are wealthy, we are, of course, loved, and we are free. And dear loved ones, this one is a solo rant, I guess. Clive has been very busy. He's a busy dude. I've been running a little bit behind with getting these podcasts out. I also realized that I released those last two, one with Clive and then one with Clive and Dom. And I believe we're going to have Clive and Dom back again for the next one as well. That would be great. That's kind of what I'm going for. But I got those out without the intro and outro on the episodes because, not that I didn't put them in, but whenever I went and uploaded the episode, I uploaded the unedited version. Your buddy Matt here is not the most tech-savvy guy in the world, okay? Just saying. That's all. But anyway, dear loved ones, I want to encourage you because I read something on Reddit and it just, I don't know, as an addict in recovery, it really struck a nerve. It was about this person who is an addict and did like 60 days in a rehab. Okay. Got out, had a cousin who's his cousin and his cousin's wife allowed this person to come and live with them. That's great. So apparently this person is a painter and has been working. You know, this person got it. I think it's he got his license. Could be a her. I'm not entirely sure, but got his license and just recently landed a very big multi-million-dollar painting contract. Big deal. It's a big deal, right? These are those victories. This is that wave of momentum that I often talk about. This person got out of rehab. I think it said January, moved in with the cousin and the cousin's wife, and has been doing very good, making a lot of progress, stayed sober. Well, out of the blue, the cousin texts and says, well, I wanted to talk with you about this the other night when you had made dinner, but it was so nice, I couldn't bring myself to do it. Plus, it'd just be easier over text rather than face-to-face because, well, let's be cowardly, but I'm not going to go there because sometimes that is an okay way to have these types of discussions, only because it allows each other to go ahead and say everything they need to say without fear of being interrupted. That's why I've often encouraged people to, if they've got something difficult they want to talk to a loved one about, I often encourage them to write them a letter. Because that way you can get it all the way out. You don't have to worry about being interrupted. You don't have to worry about forgetting some points or whatever. But anyway, that's getting off subject, dear loved one. But they were saying, we need you to move out by Friday because we think that you have relapsed. In fact, I know you've relapsed. Don't you try to play me. I know you have. And they were also complaining about a encounter that the poster on the Reddit had. I guess this person had a little fun. They call it a lust fest. The cousin said, besides that lust fest that you had Friday with your partner or friend, whoever you had over, that went almost till midnight, that was a bit much. And the poster then said, well, I was under the impression, I think that you guys weren't home or something along those lines. Anyway, it was clear that the cousin was jealous. And maybe there's some insecurities going on there that having to hear the poster and his poster's partner having a quote unquote lust fest just in the next room might have opened some wounds, might have picked a scab, but that's beside the point. But I mean, I think that's part of it. But the cousin was like, yeah, it's clear that you have relapsed. It's clear that you're using again. And I'm like, no, it's not. This person is doing well. This person is, for one, having someone over to have relations with. I know if you were trying to get high, you wouldn't be worried about figuring that out. And also that this person's work is going very well and just received the first big painting contract, multi-million-dollar painting contract. Congratulations. That's amazing. Everyone that loves you should be so proud and happy for you and excited about your future. Unless you're the jealous cousin. So anyway, this person's like, are you kidding? I can't believe this. And cousin's like, no, I'm not kidding. We need you out by Friday. And then the original poster was like, but I've paid you 5 months in advance. I've paid you through the end of the year. It's like, yeah, and we'll pay you that back, but you can't expect us to pay you out back all at once. We'll pay you back prorated. Basically, we're going to pay you month to month until it's paid off. You know, like for every month you paid for, we'll pay you that month on that month. So basically, you're kicking me out. You're giving me less than a week to find a place to live. You're not even going to give me my money back so that I can, use that for a deposit or whatever it is that I need. Oh, here's a good one. Because the cousin is supposedly some big Christian and said, yeah. And we talked about it with your parents at church on Sunday. It's like, wait a minute. Before you talk to me, you talk to my parents. So now you've got the rest of the family thinking I've relapsed. So this justifies you kicking me out. What it really is about, dear loved one, the cousin is jealous. Really straight up what it's about. The cousin is jealous because this person is doing very well. You see, some people like to help people who are down on their luck or those of us addicts who are just can't ever seem to get our shit together, right? So they'll take us in, and that way they can go to church and get around all their friends and say, see, look, we have helped this person. We took him in. We gave him a place to stay. We helped him get on his feet, and he just took a crap right on us. He went out and started using again. He's having some partner over and having loud lust fests till almost midnight on a Friday. God forbid. And yeah, they're clearly using again. Nobody has lust fests like that unless they're using again. That's what they said. So anyway, dear loved one, I'm not going to necessarily recommend you read Reddit in court because Reddit is a black hole for your attention. And yeah, I'm not exactly proud to sit here and say that I get on Reddit and sometimes read. And I don't a lot, but every once in a while, one thing will catch my attention. And that one definitely did. Because why? Because it was an addict in recovery, doing very well, riding that wave of momentum, getting his shit together quickly. This person did a 60-day program, got out, moved in with the cousin because they let him move in, got to work, got busy, started working, got the license, no doubt got a car. Didn't get that part wasn't talked about. But the license was. And then just now landed this huge multi-million-dollar painting contract. I mean, it's going freaking great. Got people coming over to, for that Friday night lust fest. Got that going on. Got things going on, looking good. And now the cousin's like, you are clearly using again. It's like, huh? First of all, I'm like, how the hell do you come to that conclusion? It's like, look, you can't try to play me. Don't you try to play me. I've had, when I was in my 20s, I had my own bout with addiction. It's like, and then we come to find out that bout with addiction was occasional weed smoking. It's like, dude, you didn't have a bout with addiction. And I think I'm safe here saying that weed is not really a drug. It's certainly not something you're going to battle addiction with. I mean, that's absurd, right? I mean, it is. But anyway, so it really struck a nerve because I'm like, damn it, this person is doing so well. You brought them in, they're cooking for you. That's why you didn't bring it up at dinner the other night, because the poster the original poster, the addict, made you guys a fantastic dinner and everything was just going great. So you didn't have it in you to bring it up at dinner. So now you're bringing it up here. So everything's going great. But yet, and it's like, well, what do you mean this person's jealous, Matt? Well, jealous of success. Because, for example, when talking about the multi-million-dollar painting contract, granted, to me, when I hear multi-million, I think, damn, that's a big deal. But apparently it's not a huge deal. But it is a great step. So the cousin said, yeah, I know. You got your little painting contract. And you're letting that go to your head. And, you need to be more humble. I mean, pride is gross. Like, dude, really? Really? I'm like, so there's that. And I think how many of us out in here are dealing with that? Have you, dear loved one, have you had people in your life who seemed supportive of your recovery, seemed supportive of you when you were down and maybe they gave you a place to live or helped you out in some way? But then when you really were, it was really obvious that you really are doing good. They then just crap on the whole thing. It's like, well, clearly you're using again. It's like, clearly I'm not. What? Clearly I'm not. But it's like, clearly you are. You have to be. Because no way else you could have a 5-hour lust fest. Or you've been so happy and just on top of the world for the past month. It's like, yeah, I'm doing really great with my business. I just got my license. My life is going great. By the way, I was able to pay you 5 months in advance rent. Clearly, this person is doing pretty well. And then there's also, because I start reading into the comments, it's like, wait a minute, you're paid 5 months in advance and they're trying to kick you out by Friday. They're not even giving you a notice. Nope. And they're not going to pay them back the rent all at once. That 5 months rent, it's like, no, we can't do that. We'll give it back to you month to month for the next 5 months. That's just hamstringing them. That's making sure this person fails. They are trying their best. By the way, the original poster did offer to do drug tests. It's like, I'm not using. I'll do a drug test right in front of you right now. It's like, no, we're not playing that drug test game. We know you're using. Wouldn't even give an opportunity to do that. Then you throw in the fact that the cousin went and talked to the original poster's parents about this while at church, because that's where you do that kind of thing, and said, yeah, we're convinced that your son is using again and is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So we're telling them to leave. I'm sorry to have to break the news to you this way. Right. So now they got the rest of the family possibly against them as well. So the original poster, in my opinion, just needs to say, hey, you're going to pay me my money right now because I got to get a place to live. Or we'll go to small claims court. And because you didn't have the balls to say this to my face, now I've got it in text message that I did pay you 5 months. You acknowledged that and you said you're going to pay me back, but you're going to pay it back spread out over 5 months after you kick me out with less than a week's notice. You tell me what judge is going to disagree with that. There are tenant rights. As long as you're getting your mail there, yes. So anyway, yes, this person needs to immediately go do drug tests. And that kind of brought it up like this. Isn't it cool, dear loved one? Isn't it pretty damn cool that we can do drug tests? Right? I mean, when we were in active addiction, a drug test, oh God, drug test, man, that was, there's not much worse than that. Right? It's like when my family finally got hip to my game and knew that I was using. And of course, I was still denying it. I was saying, no, I'm not. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I mean, yeah, I'm down on my luck, but I was doing that whole thing. And, they didn't believe me, nor should they have, because they were right. But then Like then when a family member's like, well, okay, then take a drug test right now. Shit, I can't do that. No. It's like, well, if you're just not gonna believe me, then just screw it. I'm not taking your damn drug test. Right? That's how that goes. It's like, I can't believe you wouldn't believe me. I'm not taking your drug test. If one of my family members right now, dear loved one, right now, 2025, if one of my family members accused me of relapsing right now, I would be hurt. I would. It would hurt my feelings. I'm like, I can't believe you think this. But you know what? Let's go do this. I'm going to do a drug test right in front of you right now because I'm not afraid of them anymore. Let's face it, a drug test, back when we were in active addiction, it didn't only tell on us, it made us look in the mirror. It made us, like if you were to take a drug test and then you were to look at the results of your own drug test, self-administered, and see that you are positive for heroin, positive for fentanyl, positive for whatever. Well, if you had to look at that, that's like a mirror. That's saying, this is you. And yeah, this is you. Because in a lot of cases, we're in such states of denial that even though we know we can't pass a drug test, even though we know we're using, we are so prone, I guess, at that stage of the game to tell our family, I'm not using. I can pass a drug test. Well, then do it. No, I can't do that. But when we get to the point where we can pass a drug test, that's also a mirror. So even if it would hurt my feelings if a family member asked me, hey, then fine. If you're not using, fine, take a drug test. It would hurt my feelings if they were thinking that I was back on drugs. But I'd be like, all right, damn it. Here we go. Here's the drug. Give me the damn drug test. Right? Give it to me. You want to come in here and watch me do it? Because that might be a little uncomfortable, but whatever. You want to come do it? Now we're able to do it. Now we actually would probably welcome the drug test. And it's kind of funny, getting back to this Reddit post, it's kind of funny how the addict offered to do a drug test and the family member who's so entrenched in, you've got to be using again. There's no way you've been this happy and just whatever for the past month. There's no way you're having 5-hour lust fests. Jeez. There's no way you are blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I know you've got, okay, fine. You got yourself a little painting contract. Yeah, it's a, whatever. Yeah. All right. Get out. You got your big head about it now. But you're still on drugs and I want you out of my house by Friday. And I know you've already paid the next 5 months in advance, but I'm not giving that back to you. I'll give it back to you month by month for the next 5 months. Yeah, right. Anyway, this person who posted this Reddit needs to get to his family, his mom and dad, who were told about this at church on Sunday, and say, hey, I don't know what's going on there, but this is what's going on in my life. And here, I want to do a drug test right in front of you guys, because not only is this guy clearly jealous of my success in the bedroom and in life, because I got it going. I got my stuff. I got it going. Doing really well. Clearly, that's what's going on here. But back in the day, we were scared of drug tests. Now it's like, no, I'm going to do it. I just wanted to talk about that because I know that, thankfully, I haven't had to deal with that. My family have been so supportive. They've never, I don't know if they've never suspected over the course of my sobriety. As I always say, it should have been 2 years longer than it is, but I did have a relapse. So I am past the 8-year mark right now. Should be 10, yes, but I did have a relapse. Okay. So I'm at the 8-year mark now. And if at some point in the past 8 years, my family have suspected that maybe I had relapsed, well, it may hurt my feelings. I guess more so now. I guess at the beginning, not so much because you get, being realistic, we know we have to earn that trust back. We have to earn that reputation back. We have to earn it all back. But now, say 5+ years into sobriety, if I'd found out my family was like, yeah, there was that one time we really thought you had fell off the wagon. Would it hurt my feelings? Maybe, I guess. Now, I realize that in this Reddit, this person has been sober for less than a year and is still in that danger zone. Yes. But I have no reason to believe that this person has relapsed because has a lot of good things going. Career is taking off, got some big accomplishments, just focusing on other things, redirecting toward other projects. That addictive trait is probably shining right through. However, it is probably coming out in the painting, in the business. That's why I always suggest we redirect that addictive trait towards something good. And we take the momentum of getting sober in the first place, that momentum that we created, that momentum that we generated by getting sober in the first place, and ride that out. Don't waste that momentum. So many people who are in business, sales, entrepreneurs, whatever, that's what they're looking for. They need that momentum. It's like, let me get my momentum built up, and then it's on in life and business and everything. And that's why I say that is a very unique opportunity that we as addicts in recovery have when we get sober. We have that momentum of getting sober, of turning our life around, of coming blasting up out of the pit at 1,000 miles an hour. That instant momentum. I don't know if I got a little confusing on explaining the situation with the Reddit post, but I hope it made sense. I may take some screenshots of that. I'll probably I'll tell you what, I will share that on my X. So you can find me Matt Stevens, MSA on X, and I will share that. And I may, if I'm able, if you can go, I will share that post on my X, and then I will also, so you can go read it for yourself if you want to. And I will also, put it on the website, or you can always go from the mysoberaddiction.com site. You can always go get directed to my X page, and you can read that Reddit post there if you're interested, if you're curious about it. But I pretty much summed it up for you. I pretty much got it. But now there are some pretty good comments. For example, there was a lawyer who commented saying, yeah, you can totally screw them because they put it in a text. Yes, you've paid 5 months in advance. And yes, we're giving you less than 1 week to move out because we think you're back on drugs, but we won't let you take a drug test to prove it either way. No, there's more to this. They're jealous because this person is now successful. They're no longer that lowly addict who needs a hand up. See, that whole virtue thing that a lot of religious people get. They're like, that way they can go to church or wherever and say, look, I've helped my cousin. He got strung out on heroin and went to rehab, and I'm really happy for him. He really did good there. And so we let him move in with us, and it's just a struggle, man. It's just a struggle. And that way they can get patted on the back and say, you're doing such a good thing. You're doing such a good thing helping. And then when it doesn't work out, it's like, man, you tried your best. You gave them a place to live. You really gave them a hand up. But when this person actually does begin to do very well for themselves, this particular cousin is not too happy about it, right? It's like, hey, the jealousy was showing. So there's that. But anyway, dear loved ones, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you would, please rate and or review this podcast anywhere you listen to your podcasts. Also, if you have not yet checked out the YouTube channel, that's where I do my more woo-woo talk, where I talk more about the quantum field and spirituality and spiritual awakening and all that universal consciousness. So if you haven't checked that out yet, I encourage you to do so. That's also still Matt Stevens, MSA. I am going to name the channel something else. I've been saying that for a while now, but I just haven't quite come up with a good name. I've come up with a few, but then when I go and look for the .com to go with that name, for a website, it's taken. So that's what makes things like that difficult, is a lot of the good .com names are taken up. And I know you can do other, dot something else, but .com is still king, right? So there's that. And also on the X, formerly Twitter, Matt Stevens MSA, follow me there. And all of this is on the website for mysoberaddiction.com. I recently did a little article, just a little post, kind of a little bit more explaining the differences between the podcast and the YouTube channel. But anyway, dear loved ones, that's what I got. I do love you. I truly do, dear loved one. And I'll be back directly.
There is a distance in the light.